Merrick Garland and the Biden DOJ have now removed the IRS whistleblower who had dirt on Hunter Biden from his investigation. Whistleblower rules, they say you're not supposed to be able to retaliate by firing people, removing them off their assignments, and so on. But since when does the Biden administration care about any of that? Never. The story comes over from Just the News, and we have the letter from the lawyer from the whistleblower, but the Justice Department has now removed the whistleblower, and not just him, but his entire team, from a criminal investigation of Hunter Biden's taxes. His lawyers described to Congress as an act of retaliation. He told on your bad deeds, and now you're removing him, saying this is also possible obstruction of congressional inquiries. You get reassigned, so you can't continue to do your work, which is very likely some sort of a demotion. You're investigating the president's son, kind of a high-profile investigation. They move you over to some other useless investigation. So it feels like retaliation, but also you're a whistleblower and you're investigating this, and you also are communicating this to Congress, and now they're trying to impede your access to that material. Obstruction of justice. This came into Just the News. The IRS whistleblower, whose name has not been released, is a decorated supervisory criminal investigative agent who led the team probing Hunter's tax affairs. He got whistleblower protection a few weeks ago from Congress and the Justice Department Inspector General to disclose evidence he says showed that there was political interference in the Hunter Biden probe. But his lawyers sent a letter in. The move saying that this person has been revoked from this position stunned lawmakers in Congress. They had just taken action to accept the IRS agent as a whistleblower, and they were making plans to conduct a transcribed interview with him in the coming days before he got booted. Make sure he doesn't have access to any of these materials. Little's a former DOJ lawyer, and Levitt's a former congressional investigator who serves as the president of the Empower Oversight Whistleblower Center, wrote to lawmakers saying, "We are concerned about this removal." They said that this would not happen. The IRS chief vowed that it would not happen, but it has. And so let's take a look at the letter that went over to Congress. You see, submitted May 15th, 2023, from the Empower Oversight and the Whistleblowers Research Center, along with Nixon Peabody, sent to Ron Wyden, Finance Chair, Jason Smith, Ways and Means. We've got Jim Jordan's getting a copy of this. We have Dick Durbin's getting it, along with Mike Crapo, Lindsey Graham, Judiciary Committee, the Waddler, Jerry Nadler, and our friend Chuck Grassley from Iowa. Says, "Dear chairs and ranking members, today the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, and the criminal supervisory special agent that we represent, the whistleblower, was informed that he and his entire investigative team are being removed from the ongoing sensitive investigation of the high-profile, controversial subject about which our client came originally to make whistleblower disclosures to Congress." That's Hunter. That's the Biden crime family investigation. Our whistleblower was informed the change was at the request of the Department of Justice, Merrick Garland, and the Biden DOJ. They don't like it. You're getting a little bit too hot here. Time to get booted. On April 27th, IRS Commissioner Daniel Werfel appeared before the House committee, the guy who runs the thing, and he testified. He said, quote, "I can say without any hesitation, there will be no retaliation for anyone making an allegation or a call to a whistleblower hotline. But the whistleblower's lawyers say this move is clearly retaliatory, and it may also constitute obstruction of a congressional inquiry. Says our client has a right to make these disclosures pursuant to U.S. law. He's protected by the law from retaliatory personnel actions, including receiving, quote, a significant change in duties, responsibilities, or working conditions." Yeah, it seems pretty significant if you're on a case that involves the president's son and they put you on another case. I can pretty much guarantee that that other case is going to be less significant than that one. This is coming clearly because of his disclosures to Congress. Any attempt by any government official to prevent a federal employee from furnishing information to Congress is a direct violation of long-standing appropriations restrictions. Furthermore, U.S. law makes it a crime to obstruct an investigation of Congress, which one could argue is exactly what's happening here. Could you imagine if Donald Trump did this? We respectfully request you give this matter your prompt attention. Removing the experienced investigators who have worked this case for years, they're the only ones who know it, are now now the subject matter experts. Getting rid of them is exactly the sort of issue our client intended to blow the whistle on to begin with. They're doing the same thing. He came out to communicate that they were burying and stonewalling and speed bumping all of the investigations. He was going to talk about it. So they just removed him, the man who is blowing the whistle on them. You're gone. Signed by Mark Little and Tristan Levitt, copying the Inspector General from the DOJ, copying Merrick Garland, DOJ, Inspector General for the U.S. Treasury, IRS Commissioner, Special Counsel for Office of the Special Counsel. So pretty shocking what they're doing. They are so shameless, they don't even care. They don't respond. They know that this whistleblower has some pretty damning evidence against them, so they just take him off the case, remove him from access to the evidence, even though he's been working on it for years, even though he's protected by whistleblower rules. The DOJ doesn't care. They don't speak through their filings in court. They just move things around to get the job done. And the more this is exposed, the better. Hopefully they stay on this and the whistleblower has his day in front of Congress and we get to see what it all entails. And I have to imagine that the whistleblower, after being retaliated against here, is not going to be happy about that. Neither is the rest of the team that also got reassigned on this thing. So maybe they will start becoming talkative too, and we'll hear more about this soon because the Republicans in the House and elsewhere now are seemingly not letting up. We've got Chuck Grassley in the Senate and others who want to hear more from these whistleblowers, and we'll see what they say.